Title: The Forgotten Mansion. The evening fog curled around the tall iron gates of Blackwood Manor, a decaying mansion that had long stood abandoned at the edge of Ravenshire. Once a grand estate filled with music and laughter, it now whispered only of secrets. Detective James Caldwell stood before the rusted gates, his coat drawn tightly against the biting wind. His sharp hazel eyes scanned the twisted vines that had overtaken the iron fence. The letter that had summoned him here lay folded in his pocket. If you value the truth about your father's death, come to Blackwood Manor at midnight. James's father had died under mysterious circumstances 20 years ago. His death had been ruled an accident, but James had never believed it. And now, someone was offering him the answers he had spent his life chasing. Pushing open the creaking gate, James stepped onto the overgrown path. His boots crunched against the fallen leaves as he approached the mansion's front door, an ancient wooden construct adorned with a brass lion's head knocker. He lifted the heavy ring and let it fall. A deep, echoing sound reverberated within. The silence that followed was unbearable. Just as he turned to leave, the door creaked open on its own. The dim light of a chandelier flickered inside, casting eerie shadows along the grand entryway. James hesitated only for a moment before stepping inside. The air was thick with dust and age. The scent of damp wood and decaying fabric filled his nostrils. The grand staircase loomed ahead, its marble steps cracked and lined with cobwebs. A sudden noisier whisper of movement made James reach for his revolver. A woman emerged from the shadows. She was tall and elegant, her raven black hair cascading over a dark velvet cloak. Her green eyes glowed like emeralds in the dim light. "You came," she said in a voice as smooth as silk. James gripped his gun tighter. "Who are you?" She tilted her head. "I am Evelyn Blackwood." His pulse quickened. Evelyn Blackwood had disappeared 2 decades ago, the same night his father had died. "You're supposed to be dead." She smiled faintly. "So are many things." James studied her. "Why did you call me here?" Evelyn turned and walked deeper into the mansion. James followed, his senses alert. She led him to the parlor, where a grand fireplace crackled with fresh logs. She gestured to an old